But there's a rumor that there's this intimidating toothbrush that's been terrorizing people. And so,
Listen, Linda.
Have you been ran out of your
honey,
home?
listen.
Have you been ran out of your home because of an electric toothbrush or something?
I really did think I was praying over my family. I was praying that we would not have a bomb go off in our home. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
No,
I don't even know.
Do you want me to tell you guys what happened?
I'm afraid to hear this.
I'm afraid.
So it was a Monday morning a week ago, and I sleep really hard on Sunday nights because Sunday's a really, really big day for ministry, for worship leading and stuff. And so like I was out and I was awoken from a dead sleep by a terrible noise. And it sounded
Sounds like a Christmas story.
That's what I was thinking.
And what was the clatter?
Listen, it sounded like someone was sawing through my wall and there was water, like a waterfall. And I called Justin, I put it on speakerphone and I said, babe, this is not good. Like something really, really bad has happened. He's like, I'm just now pulling into the plant. And I'm like, it's really bad. And he goes, okay, I'm pulling away from the plant. and he came home and for 25 minutes, that's how long it takes him. I prayed and I called him again. I said, do I need to take the kids for safety? I got the dogs out of our room because I thought that my room was going to blow up and we were all going to die. I was really, really scared. And he came home and
And what was it, Lindsay? What was it?
he opens the shower door and he said, babe, looks like my toothbrush fell off the ledge and somehow got turned on. Turned the toothbrush off. And we were saved. My hero.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm a little bit shocked. So can I speak on behalf of the audience?
Please.
Here's what everybody, y'all feel free to chime in and tell everybody that you're agreeing with me here.
Yes.
So I learned a lot about you already. So here's the question.
Okay.
You know, there are on this planet, when something happens, there are a million possibilities.
Yes.
You went straight to the house is going to blow up.
I went straight to the Lord in prayer.
Well, that was
from my house.
After your house is going to blow up. I mean, why couldn't it have been that there is a mole who is bore into your house?
Listen, when I was like in
How about, when I was in middle
school, our water
It was
heater
an Al-Qaeda
exploded.
mole. It was
okay?
going to blow up, okay?
Our water heater exploded when I was in middle school in the bathroom right next to my room. And so I thought, it's happening again. And there's going to be fire
that's
and
at least more realistic
water
than a bomb
everywhere. I thought it
can
was
see
over.
that.
I almost called my neighbors. I was like, do I need to call?
It was over.
Oh, my
Listen.
word.
I just want to know, why was there like a lack of investigation?
I went in
Because I
there.
feel like Justin got there and within 5 minutes he was like, yeah, it's a toothbrush.
That's
It was
another
within
great
like 30
question.
seconds.
Yeah.
But I went in the bathroom
I mean,
and
you're
I
dead
couldn't find
anyway.
the sound.
Why not at least
I
go
walked
see
all
why you're gonna
over.
die?
I don't think due diligence was exercised.
No, I'm going to die.
Listen.
That's what's determined.
I have
at least
never
want to see why I'm gonna die.
proclaimed to have excellent technical skills. I've never brought.
Technical skills.
Nah.
It's opening the shower. Like,
Well, I
I'm
thought
pretty
the
sure
shower was
3-year-old
going to
could have
blow me
turned that
up.
off.
So
We're
I
doing your
did not
hybrid door
open the
work.
shower
The
because I
thing
didn't want
about
to
this
die.
business, guys, is once you have these tools and stuff in place, you can sit in your underwear in your office and have fun and act a fool and make as much as you want, because that's what these tools do.
We are not wearing our underwear, by the way.
Oh, I'm definitely
I'm wearing underwear.
I mean, we're not wearing.
Lindsay, please speak for yourself.
Do
I
not.
decided
We're
to wear
not
it.
wearing just our underwear.
Okay.
That is different.
That's different.
That is a completely different statement.
Completely different stuff.
Those are different words.
Why? I mean, talking about toothbrushes and then
I'm telling you.
I don't know where she's
What has happened to this program?
She's hijacked it. It used to be a nice Christian show.
Yes, and you know that
Christian-
guy who came up to you and he
Justin,
says,
come
"Hey,
get
can we
Lindsay."
just get through the weird stuff to the business?"
Yeah.
Now we know why.
Now we know what he's talking about. Now we know. You know, it all started with the CBD comment, and
I
ever
just
since
meant we weren't like
then, we
inappropriate off camera. That's all I meant.
Yes.
yes. No one's.
Oh, we're definitely inappropriate off the camera too, but that's a whole nother story.
we leave the inappropriateness to when we're on the camera. Any other questions?
Yeah,
The whole thing is, I have not in my heart like.
Listen.
How defensive she's got in my heart.
She's starting to feel guilty.
No, I'm telling you, I thought that toothbrush was going to set my house on fire.
I'm sending a text message to your pastor and asking him,
Yeah.
please do not listen to this episode.
Episode 394.
It was innocent.
It was innocent.
I really did think that my house was going to explode and I need to protect my children and my dogs. And like, I was trying to figure out a plan for safety.
The whole just the worst comment and ever made, and one that still leaves us all asking, why is there an electric toothbrush in the shower?
Thank you for listening to our show today.
A blog will help you do that. Number 6, a blog will help you tell your story. And I want to tell you, nothing sells better. Nothing you do. There is nothing you can do or say that is going to do better for you than telling your story. Your story has more power and more potential for you to turn a profit, to grow your platform, to be able to widen your footprint, to have more impact, to be able to reach more people in a much more deeper and meaningful way that builds that rapport that you so desperately need and want for your business. Nothing will do that better than telling your story. Everybody's got one. I like what Eric Thomas said one time. He says, I might not have been through what you've been through, but I've been through my go through. And telling people what you've had to go through helps them understand, okay, this is a real person. It encourages them. What is encouraging people? It's literally taking courage and putting it on the inside of them. When I tell my story of how it was just in 2008, I was broke, busted, and disgusted. I was just steps away from being homeless. Our house was being foreclosed on. We were literally days away from get out of the house, a house that we had lived in my whole life. I was raised there, been in my family for years. It was the old family farm. My great-grandparents met at a barn dance on that piece of property. Telling that story and finding myself in a food bank looking for benevolence to feed a family of five children and a wife, actually a family of 7. Telling that story informs people that, hey, I don't know where you're at, but I've had my own thing. I get struggle. And it also lets them understand why I'm so passionate about what I do. Because the very training, the tools, the technology that I use today is how I, just in a short period of just a decade, have gone from the outhouse back to the penthouse. But more than the softwares, the systems, the website.
What's up, Fire Nation? Another bonus episode coming your way. This one was a great chat. I had a lot of fun with Terry Wilson. Terry is a serial entrepreneur who offers entrepreneurs and solopreneurs the tools, training, and technology needed to earn and enjoy more. For the past 13 years, he's helped thousands of hungry individuals discover their thing, develop the skills to do it, and be given a strategy to deliver it to market and produce value. Terry has a weekly podcast that can be heard on iTunes, Stitcher, and at terrywilson3.com. He also wrote a book called You Are Worth More, which you can check out at youareworthmorebook.com. We have a lot of fun in this episode, Fire Nation. I truly hope you enjoy. It's hard. It is hard work to achieve uncommon success. But you know what else is hard, Terry? Being broke.
You better believe that.
Living paycheck to paycheck, not being able to support your loved ones, not being able to support yourself, not being able to get up in the morning and do something that you want to do, but doing something you have to do. That's hard too. So Terry, my call to action for everybody here is choose your hard. Like back in 2012, it was hard. I spent 32 years of my life doing hard work and making the wrong decision on choosing my hard. I was going down the wrong path. I wasn't having any success. But then I flipped it. I said, you know what? Building this business, Entrepreneurs on Fire, it's going to be hard work. But the alternative is hard too. So I choose the hard of building a life of freedom, of building a life of choice, of building a life of uncommon success. And that's my call to action to everybody hearing our voices today. Choose your hard.
Choose your heart. Boy, I love that. Because there's a high cost of low living. And sometimes we think that, we're just going to get out of this easy by taking the path of least resistance. And boy, sometimes the end of that path is just a tiger. I'm telling you, brother.
Identify your big idea. Not be a weak, pale imitation of somebody else's big idea, which most people do. They're like, oh, look at what Terry's doing. He's so successful. Look what John's doing. I'll just copy them. And then you wonder why you fail, because you're a weak, pale imitation of those people and you will never win as a result. You need to come up with your big idea, your zone of fire and wake up every day on fire, living that life. That is the life that you deserve. Because what at the end of the day do we really want? Freedom. The ability to wake up and do what we want, where we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with. If you have those three things, what more is there in life? And you can give yourself that gift. Just take it.
Which is identifying why are you here? You know, I like to say it this way. You're not a cosmic accident. You didn't show up on planet Earth because lightning struck a mud puddle billions of years later and you crawled out. You're a significant person with a significant reason for being here. There's a reason for you to be here. And once you identify that big idea, as John just said it, life becomes, oh my gosh, becomes unimaginable. Give us go ahead.
Just on that point real quick. I mean, I think it's so key for people to understand this, like what Terry is just sharing. There is so much wisdom out there in this world, but there's also so much noise and it's chaotic. And sometimes it's so hard to really cut through all of this and to really get to the meat and potatoes, to really get down to what matters.
Does anyone know Terry's story, what Terry did?
I do.
So Terry sold musical instruments, sold pianos, right? And what was it? Was it 9/11 that created the problem?
Yeah.
9/11 creates a problem. Nobody wants to go. There's no money in town anymore. It's a brick and mortar store. Some woman comes up to him in church, some older woman, and she's like, I was thinking about your problem, and the Lord told me you should sell them on the computer. Sell your pianos on the computer. And Terry's like, that's a great idea. I got to get out of here because you're crazy. So, of course, he does it in that sweet way where he says, oh, bless your heart. And
Bless your
he
heart.
thinks about it. And then he's like, you know, he told me about the story about, you know, the guy, it's a flood and, you know, you should get out. No, the Lord's going to save me. And at the end, he goes to God and says, why didn't you save me? He's like, I did. You know, I tried. I sent you the news report. I sent you a helicopter. You know. So Terry takes that and he's like, God's telling me what to do here, right? So I should do. That was the message. I should sell these things online. His first thought when the woman tells him that is, how am I gonna, because she said her grandson sold CDs.
On eBay.
Yeah, Terry's like, how am I, you could just put them, I can't put a stamp on a piano. This is crazy.
Drop it in the mailbox.
Yeah, so next day, right? The next day he starts sells them out in a week. So he doesn't think about, he doesn't latch on to his idea of I can't ship these things cheaply, right? He just goes past that. He goes, well, what's my first solution? My first solution is I got to sell these things. That's all he's thinking about. He sells out his whole inventory in a week. Then the problem comes to him. How do I get rid of these things? I've now sold them. How do I deliver them? So what would you guys have done?
Hire a U-Haul and drive them out there.
Yeah, that's what Terry did. Terry got a truck and just was like, well, I'm gonna take my brother-in-law. We're gonna go around the country. We're going everywhere. And he delivered pianos for 2 weeks. That's amazing. And then, you know, and then he's like, oh, and the next thing is I talk to someone and as he goes and he talks to the manufacturer and he's like, so, you know, where are these things? You know, if I want to get them, how do I sell them? And he doesn't go into the conversation with the idea of, I'm going to figure out how to make this more efficient for myself. Or maybe he does to a degree, but he doesn't make that his outward appearance. He's not desperate. He's desperate, but he doesn't portray desperation. He portrays, as he's talking to the person, he's asking them questions about their business, and they give him the keys to the kingdom. They tell him the whole layout. They tell him exactly how to run his business. Now, a week after Watergate, Woodward and Bernstein spoke to a Spanish guy down in Mexico, and the joke was, he told us exactly what happened, but we don't speak Spanish, so we lost the story. It turns out that was true. They got the whole thing in the first week, but didn't understand it. Terry got the whole thing in the first week and put it together. He hears, you have warehouses all over the country, so why don't I sell them and then you guys will just deliver them locally? He gets that in an instant. He doesn't think about the problem. He doesn't think they're not going to do it, any of this stuff. When I hear about Terry selling them and he just gets in a truck, my first thought with that is, I know what.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, home of TW3, the most powerful marketing tools, training, and technology on planet Earth. Get ready to earn, enjoy, and experience more than you ever dreamed was possible. If you're tired of just getting by and ready to really thrive, then buckle in and listen up. Here's your host, Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Christopher B. This is Terry Wilson, and that's not Christopher B. That's Keith over at ESPN.
What are you doing?
I don't know. If I knew what I was doing.
It's the story of our lives. What are we doing? I have no idea.
Well, the problem is I'm incentivized to stay stupid. I mean, if you're doing
It's making you money somehow.
it's
I've
just
been
not
doing it this way
fair
for so long.
It's just not fair. But anyway, hey, so you think we ought to do a more classical, like Frank Sinatra? What are you thinking?
So personally, I like the intro that we have. It's very well produced.
Yeah.
I just don't feel like
it too aggressive.
It didn't fit our vibe.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It did not pass the vibe check.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe some jazz.
Jazz
or even I had thought maybe some funk. Funk goes really well with you, like funk jazz somewhere in there. But
are you thinking more along the lines of like what you hear on those smooth jazz channels with a sort of a heavy pocket type thing?
Yeah, something like that, or like San Francisco. Like their jazz quartet. They do like some Stevie Wonder type covers, and it's really jazzy. I think that it's.
I tell you what, guys, put down in the comment section right now, and if you're on with us live, what would you like to hear our jingle be, our opening? Because we're talking about how this has served us well. We've liked it, but it might be a little too.
It can't be copyrighted.
Friday night. Right? No. It can't be. It's got to be because I've got a group out of Australia that I use to do a lot of my radio jingles and stuff. And these guys are top shelf, and they can produce any song style we want. I can send them a recording and say, hey, listen to this Stevie Wonder tune. That's what I like. That's the vibe I want.
Oh, I got it for you then. Tell them you just want the intro from Southern Nights by Glenn Campbell. That's it. That's all you need.
Southern Nights by Glenn.
Oh, come on. That would be perfect.
Well, I think it's about time to change it up. So we got to do something. Hey, guys, we got a legend in with us tonight. Linda, the legend, out on the left coast. Linda, how are you doing?
I am doing absolutely wonderful, Terry, and thank you so much for inviting me to be on the show tonight.
Well, we're just grateful that you wanted to come and would grace us with your presence. Hey, she is a musical person. What vibe should we go after, Linda, for our show? We're thinking about changing it up again. What do you like?
I work with a lot of musicians here in the Northwest who do original music.
Yeah.
And so if you have a band that's a local band that produces original music, that's something that I would suggest. But I love reggae. I love rock. Jazz is great. I mean, there are hardly any music genres that I don't like.
Sure.
So, saying which one would go with the show would be a difficult task.
Well, you know our brand, sort of our shtick. What if you had to brand us with a song? What would your song be that if you had to brand TW3 with?
We're not doing Sweet Home Alabama.
and you have to take Sweet Home Alabama off the table.
Well, one of my favorite bands out here on the West Coast is called Strangely All Right, and they just released a new single called Alien Lover, and it's great. I mean, it's great. I'll send you the MP3. You can listen to it.
Please do. Well, we're in sort of the mode of hey, it's a new year, new time, new vibe. We want to do things new, and so I was thinking, I like this. I like our jingle, but at the same time, it's just it's a little too Friday night football, in your face. Maybe
it's very, very aggressive.
Yeah, it might be just a little too aggressive. Well, tonight, guys, you're in for a wonderful show. We got Linda the Legend in. Linda Wilson Gordon. We call her the Legend because she is a legend in our minds and in the minds of a lot of her clients because she makes it rain for a lot of people. She's going to be in tonight talking about how to set up and create multiple streams of income. And I can tell you, with the uncertainty of the job market and the economy and things, we are pivoting. Things are turning around. Things are getting better. But I'm telling you, no better time than right now to be able to develop different streams so that if this side of the market gets soft, well, you've got this going on. And if this gets soft, you got this. So it's just, I look at income and I look at my career as my number one investment tool. And what do they tell you, Reagan, about investing? Spread it out, spread the risk. And so why would you have all your eggs in one basket? If you can create different ways of creating income, then you're going to be better served. So we got that. Hey, we got a new married dude in the house tonight, Reagan. What happened last week?
You got married?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who's the lucky lady?
Congratulations on your wedding.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing someone in the family of such high character and just a wonderful person.
I'm also thankful she agreed to it. Shocker to us all.
Anytime I wonder if Reagan will ever make it in sales, I can just look at Alicia and say, well, no, he
did something.
When his heart's in it, he can close the deal.
No, it was a great wedding. I was really, really thankful for everybody that came out. We had everybody kind of tells you can't say hello to everybody. I really tried. I swear I did. And I was like, no, I can do it. It's me. You can't do it. But they don't really tell you about how many people. At least in our case, I was super, super lucky to have so many people that were just like, I guess, loved our family and just, they helped us out, I guess is the best way to say. From a lot of people just helping with their expertise, like wedding planners that were friends of ours that were like, we're going to be there. Just give us some tasks that we can do to, people staying over that night and helping clean up. So me and Alicia, could get our plans together. Like, we were very, very blessed to have, this many people in our lives.
I appreciate you saying it. I think in times like this, you really reflect back on the goodness of life and how blessed we are. Because I had sort of the same vibe. I looked around and I saw all of these people, from your friends from Chick-fil-A and college to our friends from church and family and everybody. It just seems like
it's humbling.
It's very humbling. I was like, and they stuck around till late in the evening to tear things down and do all that. And I was like, gosh, I'm telling you, this just makes life so enriching to see. And it was a special day. I will tell you, I can't listen to Phil Collins anymore without crying. So thank you for that. Because every time I hear one song, I just see Alicia coming around the corner, walking down, and I just ball up in tears still. So it's just a wonderful day. River, you got something coming up in April. You want to tell the people a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we'll be doing a technical support hour-long sessions about 3 times a week, right?
Yeah.
3 times a week.
Well, if one is good.
That's right. I love this.
3 has got to be better.
See, this is news to me. I knew you were doing something. I didn't know it was going to be 3. Oh,
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So TW3 family, if you got technical issues, these little snafus that sometimes get you tripped up or whatever.
Be happy to help.
River's going to be in there in April. You can log into your back office and take advantage of that. And he's going to be offering hour-long, you can pick one and you can come up to once a week. We're opening up 3 sessions for 3 different time periods for people and 3 different days to work around people's schedule. So that way, if ticket support and the video and your trainer, all that's just one more layer of trying to get you to the place you need to be technically. So that's some good stuff we got going on. So anyway.
That's awesome. Wow, I didn't know about that. I'm taken back. He's doing it 3 times a week. My tickets are going to be so much better. Thank you. No, that's awesome. So we're going to be doing questions later in the show. I believe it's around segment 3. So if you want to go ahead and start sending those in now, we're going to be taking questions. Typically, we have some, members that have been with us for a long time. They're gracious enough to sort of help us out in the chat. So typically they'll get to those tickets before even we will. They typically have some answers for you there. So yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead and send those in for us. If you want to share this podcast, you can share it to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I think that's the only ones we check. We don't check
MySpace.
We don't check MySpace. I'm just telling you now, we're not going to check MySpace. But if you want to go ahead and share this podcast, it's hashtag TW3podcast455. Hashtag TW3podcast455. Make sure you use that hashtag so we can see it. And then finally, if you like our content and you've enjoyed watching our podcast, just give us a like and a subscribe. It helps grow the channel, sort of helps us reach new markets and new people. So,
and you can sign up and get special invitations to the podcast by texting TW3 podcast to 38470, 38470. And if you want to be coached by Terry, you can go to coachedwithtw3.com for more info on that. And stay tuned for upcoming special guests in the month of March and April. Ray Edwards, Steve Lukather.
Steve Lukather of Toto.
Oh, nice. And several others you want to stay tuned for.
Yeah, we got an all-star lineup coming up in the coming weeks, and so we're excited about that. But tonight, we're honored. We've got the legend in with us. Linda, what are you going to be talking about and coming up in just a few moments? Give the people a little taste.
Well, I'm going to be talking about creating multiple streams of income and why it's so important. You know, statistics out there tell us that only about 23% of the people in the United States, the richest country in the world, have savings to get them through 6 months if something happens to their job. 23%. Now that means that 77% don't. So, you know, multiple streams of income are not something that they're not optional anymore. It's a necessity.
I love that. And I can tell you this, you know, I, like everyone else, just went through a crazy year last year, and thank God, knock on wood, you know, we had enough.
Wooden desk in front of you.
Yeah, I know. I just smacked my head, and the kids are laughing at me.
I was just saying, there's a wooden desk in front of you. You hit your head. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
But the diverse income streams is what kept us healthy in many of the quarters last year. Had we not had that, we would have been in a harder situation than what we were. And I can testify to, you got to diversify your income stream. And I'm so thankful that Linda has been willing to come on with us tonight and share her expertise in this and give you guys some insight on why you do need to diversify your income stream. Start treating your career and your income like your number one investment tool. You know, what's it doing for you today? Have you got it structured and planned out to meet the challenges coming up this week, this month, this year? So start thinking in those terms. Be intentional about your career. Be intentional about your income. And you will be better served in the coming days and weeks when you do that. So when we get back right after this, we've got Linda, the legend, talking about how to create multiple income streams right after this.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Christopher B. Listen, for the month of March, we're in March. Can you believe it? Listen, we want you to rock this year out. If you're in insurance, real estate, direct sales, whatever you're in, we want to help you here at TerryWilson3.com. So here's what we're doing. We're offering 10 leads for $1. So go to TerryWilson3.com/$leads. TerryWilson3.com/$leads. There'll be a link in the bottom here. I'm going to put this actually out on my social media channels as well. But you can get 10 leads for $1. So get over there, TerryWilson3.com/$leads. Are you like 98% of people who've tried a home-based business and didn't work out the way you wanted? Most home-based businesses and most people who try a home-based business have a hard time. And here's the reason why. It's not about them. They can do it. You can do it. But you're set to fail right from the get-go because you lack one unique thing you've got to have. And that is a means, a method, mechanism, in other words, a way of getting in front of people who need what you have, who want what you have a desire for it that you can sell to. When you have the TW3 marketing system, you have everything you need to get in front of as many people as you want on demand and make money. And here's the other beautiful thing. You're selling products of high commission. You're gonna make anywhere from $750 up to $18,000. If you get 25 qualified leads that come through your sales system and funnel that we teach you how to set up at TW3, you are going to sell one and you're going to make a minimum of $750. That's the power of TW3. That's the power of our system. That's why so many people have been with us for so long after all of these years online. Tools have changed. Technology has changed. The training has changed. But one thing that hasn't changed is the ability to get in front of people, and that's why you can make money at TW3.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
All right, so we're back, and now we have time for that training with Linda. I'm excited to get into it.
Hi, I'm Linda Wilson Gordon, and Terry, I'm absolutely delighted to be on your show tonight. I am also absolutely delighted to be a member of the TW3 family. I'm going to be talking to all of you who are at home listening to this about multiple streams of income, how to create them, and more importantly, why you need them. I'd like to tell you just a little bit more about who I am and my business background. I've gone back and forth from the financial services arena to high tech for the last 30 plus years. I started out as a financial planner, and I was both insurance licensed and securities licensed. Eventually, I left personal production and became a wholesaler. I recruited and trained insurance agents across the country. I grew tired of the constant cross-country travel and took a position based in Seattle selling medical billing software for doctors' offices. When I left there, I went to work for New Horizons Computer Learning Center, the largest computer learning franchise in the world. Eventually, I migrated back to financial services. I've been with TW3 for almost 2 years now. I kept my job with the financial services company I was with for about 2 months after starting with TW3. Just a few months after starting my TW3 business, my business partner and I also launched North Star Marketing Group. North Star Marketing Group coaches agents and business consultants on how to assist business owners in becoming more profitable by uncovering underused tax credit strategies. We also teach our consultants how to make the largest life insurance sale of their career using a premium finance strategy. I would like to say that most of the time I take my own advice, but sometimes I don't. One of those pieces of advice is to never take financial or business advice from someone making less money than you. Well, someone who has never made less money than me is Warren Buffett. I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with that name, as he is one of the wealthiest men in the entire world. But Warren Buffett says, never depend on a single income. So what are the steps? So the beginning steps are seek out experts, mentors, read books, watch YouTube videos, attend webinars. There are a number of ways to seek out experts in a field that's different than your own. And then you create your multiple streams, and then you expand whenever possible. And I'm going to get into all three of those a little bit deeper as we go on here. But what I have to state is this: multiple streams of income have become a necessity, especially if you're a self-employed entrepreneur. If there's anything that the last year has taught us, it's that no job is safe. The economy takes wild swings beyond anyone's control. And unfortunately for most people, their only source of income is from their day job. When that reliable 9-to-5 disappears, they find themselves in serious financial trouble. So milestone number 1 is the planning. The initial investment of time and money in building that first successful income stream. Milestone number 2 is the second investment for a second income stream, and that's going to take second round of planning and an investment of time and money, the effort that goes into it, and then you just repeat. So looking at the list of 8 different income streams over on the right-hand side of the screen, how many do you already have? If you own the TW3 system, you already have a built-in way to create multiple streams of both active income and passive income. So one of those ways is profit income, selling the system to other entrepreneurs. Another one is earned income, using the system in an existing business. And then expanding to create RMPs with the Elite package, expanding to market lead campaigns to a variety of business. And I am sure there are people in the audience who could talk about other ways of expanding within the system. Many of you may have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but Robert Kiyosaki, the best-selling author, also wrote a second book called Cash Flow Quadrant. In that cash flow quadrant, he has the E quadrant, which is an employee, which means you have a job. Then many people will move to the S quadrant. That means you're self-employed and you own a job. B is up to the business owner quadrant. You own a system that works for you. And then I is as an investor. You have money invested that works for you 24/7. Creating multiple streams of income means a more secure future for you and your family. We all know what the norm has been up until recently. You drive up to work, you get up early, you climb the corporate ladder and retire there, while work from home jobs were actually something relegated to those with less skills. This traditional mindset no longer applies. With current technology, companies are being forced to pivot, and companies that used to be considered safe are being forced to downsize or, in some cases, to close altogether. Let's take a look at some of the obvious and not so obvious benefits of multiple streams of income. Number one, of course, is also the most obvious. It helps you make more money. Think about all the opportunities and freedoms having money coming into you and your family from multiple streams can do. Multiple streams offer some protection from job loss. I was laid off in the early 2010, beginning of the Great Depression, along with millions of other people across the country. Indirectly, and over the course of several years, that layoff actually led me to TW3. But during the first 6 months after being laid off, my husband and I were scrambling to make ends meet, and we were eventually forced to sell our house. We were very fortunate to even be able to sell. So how about hitting early retirement goals or retirement goals at all? If you happen to still be in your 30s or your 40s, do you believe Social Security will be there for you at age 65 or 70? Developing passive income streams as you work toward the goal of multiple income streams will create income that you'll never outlive. You can write your own Social Security check. Diversifying is a big strategy to successful investing. You want to spread your money to different assets for protection during downturns. Probably one of the most important financial terms to learn and live by is diversification. The simple way of looking at it is not putting all your eggs in one basket. I know, that's a cliche statement that's been around for eons and it's been used to death, but it really is the best way to describe it. So we talked about this a little earlier, but I'm going to get into a little deeper dive here. What's the best way to go about creating the multiple streams of income? Where do you start? Well, step one, create or expand your first stream of income until you're relatively debt-free and earning more than you need to cover your current lifestyle expenses. If that seems impossible, my suggestion is to cut expenses to the bone. In my previous experience as a financial planner, I've found that there is almost always room in every budget to cut expenses. Get out of debt. Step number 2, read books, study, and learn from your mentors about what your second stream of income might be. Set aside a certain amount of money each month so that when you're ready to expand into that second stream, you have the necessary funds ready to use. Step 3, as Nike says, just do it. Don't allow paralysis by analysis to take over your life. Sometimes taking a leap of faith is the only way to make things happen. The boom of remote and freelance work, as well as the possibilities afforded by the internet when it comes to starting a business, have opened a host of new opportunities to generate money. from the comfort of your own home and with a simple internet connection. All you need is some time, some ideas, and a whole lot of dedication, as it's the case for anything at which you want to succeed. Those who have multiple sources of income generally enjoy a lot of benefits, and as a multiple business owner myself, I'd like to share the most notable. Number one, of course, is getting to that goal of achieving financial independence. In the early stages of a new business or company, it's usually the founder who takes on many tasks themselves. With progress over time, the goal is to delegate secondary tasks little by little so that the executives can focus on the 20% of the tasks that will generate 80% of the results to scale the company. The main objective is to be able to answer yes to the question, if I were not present, would my company still generate money? That's an excellent indicator of whether or not you are financially independent. If you have several sources of income, you'll get that much closer to becoming financially independent. So, number two, greater stability and safety. I've already talked about this a bit, but it's definitely worth a little further discussion. It's important to make sure that your first business is mature and developed enough before you start focusing on an eventual second source of income. However, I believe that it's also important for entrepreneurs to always have an ambitious attitude and seek new sources of growth. Having multiple sources of income can decrease your risk of losing it all. If the business to which you're dedicating all of your effort goes bankrupt or fails, you'll lose your only source of income, and you'll be left empty-handed. When you have several sources of steady income, that worry is greatly reduced. So, scaling faster. You've likely heard the expression, wealth begins wealth. Essentially, higher amounts of money and income will attract more money and ROI, return on investment. Having multiple sources of income will allow you to invest a greater proportion in both your primary company and other new sources. In short, you'll likely be able to scale faster because it really is a virtuous circle. So, number 4 is working from the comfort of your own home. With the rise of remote work, especially over the last 14 months, there have been more debate about what's best, working from an office or working from the comfort of your home. This is relative, as both options have their benefits and their disadvantages. No matter your opinion as your own boss, you'll be the one to decide whether and when to work on your business. And when you have the increased flexibility of being an entrepreneur, you can monitor and strengthen your sources of income while continuously identifying new opportunities that aren't limited to your geographic area. But my personal comment is this: I've worked from my home office for years now, and I hope I never have to go back to a regular office. Living your dream life is number 5, and of course everybody wants to live their dream life, but not everybody's able to achieve that goal. If you're smart and manage more than one source of income, then you have a real chance of creating the dream life you want. The more time and effort you put into building your sources of income, the greater the chances you'll achieve financial freedom to live the life you want. You may decide to invest more freely in your own time and your personal development. You may choose to continue building additional sources of income, or you may want to travel the world and enjoy it with your family. But it's up to you. The choice is yours. Are you ready to get started? Now, keep in mind that if you want to achieve financial freedom and travel the world while reaping the returns from your multiple sources of income each month, You must be willing to pay the price of success. I never said that building multiple streams of income is easy. It definitely is not. My husband and my business partner and I have all worked 60 to 70 hours a week for the past 18 months. Late nights, early mornings, weekend projects have all become the norm and not the exception. I don't want anyone to quit their job thinking that their work-from-home side hustle is going to be an immediate success, but diversification and passive income streams can eventually lead to less work in the future. Thank you all for being with us tonight, and again to Terry, thank you, Terry, for having me on the show. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you. Good night.
You're listening to TerryWilson3.com. Inspiring, informative, and entertaining content for the entrepreneur and small business owner.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
Rolling with it. I love it. No, I don't know if you've noticed, but it's something that's kind of occurred to me over the last few months of just how many talented members. Stop laughing through your mistakes. I'm trying to make a point here. No, but seriously, how many like talented and smart members we have to be able to pull from and kind of gain information from them. You know?
Oh, I'm telling you, it's absolutely humbling to have the membership we've got and people like Linda on that just dropped a value bomb in 12, 13 minutes is giving people some information that if they'll take and grab a hold of and actually execute on, they're going to be better served. So Linda, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, and it's been a delight to be on the show tonight.
Well, it's been a delight to have you for sure. I know we've got some questions, Reagan, so let's go ahead and get into those questions. And Linda, if you don't mind, I might be pulling on you tonight to help facilitate some of those questions.
Sure.
All right, so first question comes from email. Number one, I have a small used car lot with about 25 cars on it. We're third tier market where in-house financing is basically how we're able to move our inventory. How would your system help us?
Oh, yeah. So that describes Rutherford County to me.
Yeah.
A third tier market, you know, you're not going to have a lot of new car sales because of, the demographics, the income structures and all of that other stuff. So keeping in step with what Linda talked about tonight in diversifying your income stream, one of the things that most car dealers, especially at that level, how they're making their money is just turning that inventory. It's the sale of that car, which great, you got to have that. But how does our system help? How does it diversify your income stream like Linda was just talking about? Well, number one, with the lead generation marketing tools, we can show you how to get a filtered, scrubbed list in your area. In other words, the people in your area that have a certain income, have a certain credit rating, and maybe you don't want people of a high credit rating. Maybe your target market is the market that has a poorer credit that could not get a car otherwise, and you have creative financing opportunities. So that's how our lead generation tool is going to give you the tools to target those people. It's going to give you the tools like the bulk texter to reach out and grab a hold of them and send them a text. It's going to give you the online tools to drive people that's responding to that to a landing page, maybe a video of you saying, hey, this is Terry here at the local car lot XYZ. The reason I sent you this text is because we got this brand new and I'm pointing toward some sort of fancy car there that we can get you financed where no one else can, blah, blah, blah. When they come in, you're going to be able to set them up with maybe car insurance. We're going to set them up with a credit repair that they otherwise couldn't get financed through traditional financing. You can offer credit repair because we can get you hooked up with companies that do that. We're going to be able to get you hooked up with second and third tier financing companies. Maybe you don't want to do in-house. So you're going to get loan origination. Maybe you generated that lead and what you had on the lot wasn't a fit. You can sell that lead to another company and they'll pay you $50, $100 to send that person that you just had on your lot that wasn't a fit over to. So in other words, every single person you come in contact with, you're able to serve. I mean, genuinely serve and help. And by serving them might mean to tell them, this ain't right for you. This isn't your deal. But you're able to help them. And by the way, you could save money. You could cut your monthly car payment down by $50 if we could get your credit score up 10 points, because then your FICO score would be here and you would qualify for this type of loan. So let's do this, and you get them hooked up with a credit repair. There's multiple ways with that one engagement that local small used car dealer with our system and our tools and our training could make some money helping people. And that guy might have walked off the lot that day and didn't even buy a car, but you served them and maybe made a couple $100 just in serving them. So that's how this system, our platform, and our training works. Linda, you got anything to add to that, or some scenarios or ideas with clients you've worked with?
Well, just saying about social media marketing, a lot of people are chatting about a lot of different things on Facebook. And so having a presence for your car lot on Facebook, and doing some, the ads on Facebook are relatively inexpensive, and you can reach a very, very targeted market with those ads, particular area of the country, obviously, the town where you're living, and, particular age group. There are a lot of filters in those Facebook ads. So I would add that into what Terry has already said.
Love it. Love it. All right. What else?
Second question here. Can your system help us with generating leads for our solar panel business?
Absolutely. We have one of the things that we have in our system is a bulk dialer, a bulk texter, and a bulk emailer. And then, of course, with all of our landing page software, you've got the ability to generate ads on Facebook and other places like Linda was just talking about and target people. Now, when it comes to things like solar panel, there's two ways I like to market in those particular industries. Number one, I like to use Facebook to drive leads of people that are already in the market looking for that, and I drive them to a landing page. And then once they opt into that landing page, maybe I'm giving them some sort of report on how to cut their energy bill down by 80%. And all different types. I'm giving them information, giving them training, giving them this. And by giving that to them to get that, they've opted in. Now I've got them to where I can then send out through our CRM system automated text and emails saying, hey, this is what we do. This is how we do it. So that's one way you can do it. The other way is if you are paying attention to local governments and municipalities and stuff, there's different tax incentives in different areas and offering different things. And so you can pull a list of people based on the zip code, the area, the demographic that would fit those tax incentives, and then target market them with bulk texting and things and saying, hey, you qualify for an 80% tax deduction because of X, Y, and Z. Click here for more information. So there's all different types of strategies that we have worked with our clients on and how to do that. And that definitely can help. Linda, you got any ideas on that as well?
Yeah, well, I just one comment about the lists is that you can target homeowners, because obviously you want homeowners.
Absolutely.
For this particular, for this particular type of a sale. And so you're not going to, you don't want people who are living in apartments, obviously. You want people who own their own home and are in a particular geographic area where solar panels make sense.
Absolutely. And that's one of the filters that you can set when you are getting a list from us to be able to target through that bulk texter. And just one key thing that I've noticed that has changed in the last few years, when it comes to marketing and what I call cold marketing, I believe that bulk text is just about the way to go on everything now. Now, there are some instances where voicemail, a voice drop, I will tell you, email marketing, I've almost resolved that it has to be done as a follow-up process and not a cold process, because with all of the emails that everyone gets every day now, and with all the filters that email systems are providing, it's tougher and tougher to do cold marketing through email. Now, email is very effective. I use email all the time, our CRM, but the way I'm using it is that's a warm lead. In other words, they've already followed up and they've asked for information. Now they're getting that information. But when you're talking about cold marketing, what you're talking about is you're calling on people that have not asked you to call on them. It's a cold call. Yeah. But you're using this tool to do that, and by using that tool, they can say stop, and it takes them off the list. So there's no problems there. But because you've got a filtered, scrubbed list, you're not not texting people you shouldn't, because they have opted in. That's how we got the information. And I just think with text having 98% open rate and people still responsive, when you're doing cold marketing and you're not doing it through social media, that's the way to go.
Cool. Number 3 here. How much money can a person make if they don't have an existing product or business and simply want to resell the TW3 platform?
Got a ton of people that's in that situation. We have a ton of people that TW3 is actually the first business they started. That's not our entire membership, but that is a huge swath. In other words, people got involved with us because not only do we have the tools to generate leads, but we have a product to sell that's a high commissionable product. The least you're going to make at TW3 on a sale of one of our products, $750. The most you can make through our enterprise system, if you're an elite member, is $18,000. So, do the math. We have people making $250,000, $500,000 a year.
Right.
And we got people that hadn't made a dime. I mean, it's all over. It's just like anything else. Some people, take off, and some people it takes longer. And that's fine. It's just where people are at. But the earning opportunity here is immense. And we know a lot of people in our business that make really good. And, the thing I like about reselling our system versus other systems, you're selling a $1,000 product and making $750 off of it. And there's no inventory. There's no maintenance. Come on. I mean, that's pretty nice. I mean, think about if you sold 1,000 hamburgers at McDonald's, what would your profit be? Well, the markup on those things, 30%, so it's the 30%, so it's just, and then you've got inventory, you got all this other stuff. So I think as far as just from a business opportunity standpoint, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful solution. What, any comments you've got on that, Linda?
Yeah, definitely. As you saw in my training, I kept my day job when I started with TW3 for about 2 months. And during that 2 months, I set up my system. I made a couple of sales. I proved to myself that it could be done, but I pretty much already knew that going in. And it's, just ask yourself, what part-time job out there, if you just make one sale a week, just one, what part-time job out there is going to pay you $750 a week and let you work from home? Ask yourself that question.
Yeah. That's great. Good point. All right, Reagan, any other questions?
All right. Last question here. Can you explain the 90-day money made guarantee in more details?
Yeah. So I think, business opportunity, self-employment has inherent risk. You've got to be aware of that. But one of the things I'm proud about at TW3 is we're very, very bullish on our processes and our products. And what we mean is if you use our tools our way and you will verify that you're doing it, Reagan said, trust but verify, not this Reagan across from me, but another guy. Linda's favorite president, by the way.
Who's me?
I'm giving her a hard time. But if you'll do it our way and show us, and there's a way that we sort of keep tabs, then we guarantee you're going to get results. It's just point blank. It works. Okay. And so we say, do this within 90 days. And if you don't meet the minimum result in 90 days that we've got laid out, we come in beside you and we sort of drag you across the finish line. What we mean is we start showing you, working your leads, your operational cost stops, your admin cost stop. Now there's no refunds because this is software, this is systems, it's paid for, we can't do anything. But what we're going to do is get involved and help you make your first few sales to get your cost back out of it and get you upright and sort of help you. We've been doing that opportunity and that offer. It is a separate offer. You just don't get it automatically by enrolling. You have to ask for it and you have to sign up for it. But if you do, we get involved and get you on a plan to where in 90 days doing it this way, you're going to get results. Since we've been doing that for 6 years now, 5-6 years?
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember.
Have not had one client never not meet the minimum results. So it just tells us it works. It works, but you just got to work the system and it will work. Well, Linda, this has been awesome. We got one more break after this. And when we get back, We're going to be talking about Linda, what she's got going on up there on the left coast and how she's making it happen. So stay with us, and we'll be back right after this. Chapter 1. The 4 words that changed everything. Another day, another dollar. I just clocked in and was super excited. I finally felt like an adult. For the first time in my life, I was working for someone that wasn't a family member.
Hi, I'm Haven, and Terry Wilson's my dad. And the reason why I think I like this is it teaches me not only to earn money and work when I get older, how to earn it. It also teaches me how my dad used to live in the past, what he did, what was his first job, the reason why he came into this podcast sphere. So that's why I think I like his podcast and this audiobook.
Get the audio version of You Are Worth More at coachwithtw3.com. That's coachwithtw3.com. Get the first 2 chapters for free.
And now back to our show with Terry Wilson.
You don't like the disco one?
No, that's fine.
This reminds me of Mario Kart, the loading.
I just really like that outro, whatever that bumper was. That was good.
Okay. Well, I got that from my friends down in Australia. You know, they got all kinds of little...
Is that an Australian accent?
Do what?
Yeah, that was his Australian
accent. That was an Australian accent. Do that one more time.
Go ahead.
You know, I mean... That's not a knife. This is a knife.
That's not good. It's bad.
That's Southern Australia. It's Southern. It's on the lower part of the...
That's you putting your tongue in the back of your throat
and choking.
Yeah, it's nothing else. Wasn't good.
Well, Linda, what's going on in your world? What you got going on up there on the left coast? I know you're doing a lot of insurance. How's that going for you?
That's going really well. My business partner and I are increasing the size of the agency, the number of business consultants and insurance agents that we train and coach. And we just had one of our agents on this morning. Here's a little story. This is from the agent who was on this morning on our training. We do Monday morning training and we do Wednesday morning training. So Mondays and Wednesdays with TW3 in the evening are long days for me. I try not to schedule much of anything else on those
same Monday I have, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But because of the training that we give him, he's in a smaller town in Illinois, and he heard about a manufacturing company that was closing. Well, he started asking around, and he found out that the reason it closed was that the owner passed away. And they laid off everybody except 2 key employees to kind of keep things going until the children who inherited decided what to do. Well, one of the children, it lives out of the country, and another one lives in a totally different state, and they don't want anything to do with the business. And so he finally, through making several calls, got a hold of one of the kids and said, "Look, you have shut down a company that's been here for 17 years and is a going concern. You've just laid off 43 people. Why not sell the company?" That never occurred to them. They never occurred that they had something there that was sellable.
Wow.
But because of what we had taught him, he's now getting the listing on that company and has talked to our strategic partner, which is one of the largest business brokers in the country. They have 75 offices, and they can co-list and list. They can either, list themselves, or they can co-list with another broker from another agency. They're going to get that business sold. Mm-hmm. And we talked to another strategic partner who has a private equity group, and they're actually looking for businesses like this, where it's kind of a, we're going to sell it or shut it down type situation. And they are very interested. So, we have a couple of different situations there for that agent, because of course, when it does sell, if it sells, we expect that it will, because the business was actually making about 11 million a year. You know, it wasn't a little tiny business. It was a substantial business with a lot of people depending on it for their income. And of course, the couple of employees that are left are very happy to hear this. And so it's just a matter of planting some seeds and letting them know what's out there. But we have, with the assistance of the TW3 system, because I use it in the business to reach out to additional brokers and additional insurance agents to bring them on board with us for our training and our coaching. And I also sell the system. So I have developed what I've talked about in my own training. I have about 5 different income streams within the system and within our own company. And we're teaching our brokers to develop different income streams, different streams of income within what we teach at North Star Marketing Group.
That's just awesome. That is just awesome. So you're using the tools and equipping other people to use the tools, and you're informing people, just like with these small business owners, thinking that life was one way, thinking that their options were only this, and you're coming in, basically saving them their financial situation. That's awesome, Linda. That is awesome.
And one of our favorite things that we do is to absolutely put money back into the pocket of the business owner. And we do that by using some underutilized tax credit strategies that many businesses have absolutely no idea that they're even eligible to receive. And the amount of money that we put back in their pocket is pretty significant. I mean, it ranges usually between $100,000 and $200,000.
Wow!
So it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just a few $100s. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. In 2020, last year, our tiniest case, the little tiny case that we did, the smallest one was $22,000 for a chiropractor in Alabama. And the largest case that we did was $1.94 million for a paving company in Southern California. So the range is pretty big, but the average is between 100 and 200,000. And most companies, and more importantly, their CPA has no idea that they're eligible to receive these credits. And the credit that I'm talking about is the R&D tax credit, which has been around for 40 years.
Wow. So are these clawbacks? I mean, are these like, are these monies that you can get that are after the tax season that it was filed for?
Absolutely. We can do a 3-year look back. And in that 3-year look back, there is a statute of limitations. So right now we're dealing with 17, 18, and 19, but after April 15th, for most companies, we'll be dealing with 18, 19, and possibly 20 if they've already filed. For companies who filed an extension, we have until around the 1st of October to work with those companies to recover money from 2017. But we're working with a company right now who paid a little over $1.5 million in federal taxes during those 3 years, and the biggest year he paid a little over $800,000 in 17. So we're scrambling with our strategic partner again. We work with a group of elite CPAs. This is all they do is recover tax money. And, they don't do tax returns. They don't take the place of the normal corporate CPA or any of that. They're highly trained specialists in the tax field.
Nice. And what does a business owner have to qualify for this, or what? Who are you talking to right now in the listening audience and saying, "Hey, would this work for me?" What would you tell them?
The qualification is that you have to have paid $50,000 or more cumulatively over those 3 years. So if you paid $50,000 total, 17, 18, and 19, and it's definitely worth talking to us because we can probably get some of that back for you.
Nice.
And there are let me go ahead with that just a little bit further, Terry. There are qualifications. There have to be activities that qualify
Sure.
for the R&D credit, and many companies do. The companies that don't are like a retail store, for instance, or a restaurant, retail businesses like that. But a lot of other companies, when people think of R&D, they think of pharmaceuticals or IT companies, software companies. It's way beyond that. I mean, I mentioned a chiropractor. I mentioned a paving company. Most construction companies, anybody in the construction field at all, they can be a plumber, a roofer, an HVAC company. They're all going to qualify, and they don't know. They don't know it. That's the sad part.
Wow. I see her game and I respect it. I see her game and I respect it. She pulls for high taxes so she can come in and solve the problem. I love it. I love it. I love it. Linda, you are a legend. Wow. Well, if the people need to get a hold of you and want to talk about saving money on taxes, seeing if they qualify, or even anything else about their marketing that they might need, because I know you can help them with that too at the TW3 platform, how can they get a hold of Linda the Legend?
Well, they can go to my TW3 website, which is lindawilson3.com. Yeah, I wonder where I got that.
You're the third too? I didn't know that.
You can look me up on LinkedIn. It's Linda Wilson Gordon on LinkedIn. You can text me. The text number was in the video, the training video. So there are several different ways that you can reach out to me.
And Linda also is a radio personality over at tw3radio.com. And her shows are on Thursday nights at, 8 p.m. Eastern?
7 o'clock Eastern.
7 o'clock Eastern, which would make it 4 o'clock Pacific. So she's Insights with Linda. And I'm telling you, she drops value. Every single show, Reagan, is high quality content and high quality produced. I mean, it's just a wonderful to listen to. I've walked a few miles on that treadmill over at the gym listening to Linda the Legend. And by the way, just so you guys know why I call her Linda the Legend, I give everybody nicknames. Linda, when she came on, she shot up like a rocket because she is a rock star. And she was just telling the world about her experience at TW3. And she posted a comment on, I think, Google reviews. And then she posted a comment on a couple other review places. And in one place she was Linda Wilson, the other place she was Linda Gordon, and another place and she had a different headshot. And so one of the three people over the last decade that sort of got their tail feathers a little ruffled with us, because I guess
It's the internet.
It's the internet.
No need to explain.
No need to explain. She was evidence that these reviews aren't even real. Look at this. This person said this person said this, and this person said this. They all three said the same thing, and it's three different people. Well, no, it was actually Linda.
Linda Wilson Gordon.
She's a legend. I tell you, a legend in their own mind. So I had a little fun with that, but she's always been great, and it's a wonderful asset to the elite membership. If you want to be around people like Linda, like Miller Time, like Miss Spelling Bee, like Greenbacks, like all of these folks, that Bobby, Christy, Coach Bobby, and all of the wonderful people, and Tom from Chi-Town. These are all elite trainers here at TW3. They're not only reselling the tools, they're using the tools, they're coaching with the tools, they're making it happen. And it's just a distinct honor and privilege to be able to meet with them once a week in our mastermind groups on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you would like to meet these folks in person, little tip of the cap here, sometime in September, we're finalizing it right now, we are going to have our 4th annual You Are Worth More conference. And so that's coming up. And Reagan, guess where we're going to have it at?
Oh, I know where you're going to have it. You're having it at Zen, aren't you?
We have changed venues because we were so impressed. Me and Chris walked around and said, hey, we could do a breakout session here. We could do a breakout session here. And this whole place.
I better get a referral from that. There better be some kind of. Yeah, Zen is nice. The conference members get be in for a treat. It's really nice.
The conference folks, if you loved the last conference in downtown Greenville, then you are just going to fall head over heels, because the place is right across the street from the floor field ball field, right across the street from it's not a swinging bridge. What kind of bridge is it? It's a suspension bridge. That's over the Reedy River there. So it's just so scenic, so beautiful. It's going to be a wonderful time, wonderful restaurants, but more importantly, wonderful people like Linda the Legend, like Greenbacks, like Miss Spelling Bee. And if you can tolerate me, you're going to just enjoy the entire time. Congratulations on the new wife, Reagan.
Thank you.
Congratulations, River, on the new sister-in-law.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Linda. You did a wonderful job tonight on this is her first time being with us on the show tonight and doing training. And it's just, this is why we're doing this format this year this way, because of quality folks like Miss Linda. And I hope you will. I hope you will reach out to her, LindaWilson3.com. Check her out at tw3radio.com on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. She's dropping value bombs left and right. And until next time, we will see you later.
Thank you for listening to TerryWilson3.com today. If you've decided you are worth more, then go to TerryWilson3.com now and get a free digital sample copy of the book. You are worth more. Listen, no one's going to give you what you're worth but you. So stop putting off and get started earning, enjoying, and experiencing what you are worth today. Go to TerryWilson3.com now to start your journey today. That's TerryWilson3.com.